Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe announced that he is temporarily walking away from ESPN due to the $50 million lawsuit he is going through with a 19-year-old OnlyFans girl who is accusing him of sexual assault. Now, he has already on record said that it was consensual sex. And here's the deal. I want to say this. I believe it was consensual sex. But that's not the point. It's not a good look to be in a sexual assault lawsuit with a 19-year-old white girl where you a big black man working for Walt Disney. Yes, ESPN is owned by Walt Disney. Nobody temporarily walks away from a multi-million-dollar job. But let me tell you why I'm irritated, because I tried to save Shannon Sharpe. I tried to save. Now, if you recall, I ran into Shannon Sharpe at the NAACP Awards. I stopped him. I said, Shannon, I got 10,000 girls I could hook you up with. If you don't remember, take a look. I already know it. I got what you looking. I got like 10,000 girls. He walked away. 7 seconds could have changed his whole life. All he gave me was 7 seconds. Shit, you should have sat your ass there and listened to me. Look at all these beautiful girls. Look at all these beautiful girls on the Kendra G singles dating app. You had access to in their 30s. I know you want them young, so I went to 30s. You can search by age, location, education, kids, all that on the Kendra G singles dating app. I know you got to type. This your type. I know you got to type. They are on the Kendra G singles dating app. But you walked away from me. Now you got to walk away from ESPN too. Next time you better listen when a black woman's trying to tell you something.
Think about this whole listen to black woman thing. Y'all better listen to black woman. There are times when it makes sense, but there are also times when it doesn't make sense. What I will notice about these kinds of situations when we see a black man taking a huge L is you always have black men stand up and be like, y'all need to listen to us. Y'all need to listen to us. As if all of the ills in the black community would go away if black men listen to black women more. And that's just not necessarily true. I'll also say this. I'm just speaking in general. Black men aren't necessarily interested in listening to black women who only have negative things to say about them or only want to tell them what to do. There needs to be more of a reciprocal relationship. But if the whole framing is you need to listen to me or else your life is going to screw up, and then see, you didn't listen to me, your life is screwing up, like that's not really an honest, healthy discourse. And I'm not saying that that is always the case, but online we know that there is a toxic dynamic that's been cultivated between black women and black men in the West particularly. So the whole listen to black women being a reason to try to shame men into doing what they say is not a good look. And black men are not going to be shamed or coerced into listening to women that they don't really feel respects them. Quite frankly, when you feel that somebody loves you and cares about you, you're going to want to hear what they have to say. And the best way to ensure that you are being heard from your man as a black woman is to respect them. If black men feel respected by and large by black women, then they're going to be more willing to listen to them. That's just I'm speaking generally here. Now, secondly, in the case of Shannon Sharpe, it is safe to assume that multiple people probably talked to him and tried to encourage him to expand his option to women his age or close to his own age. I mean, we have Monique on record saying that. You have Kendra G. You even had, what's her name? Young Miami not too long ago, or also known as, I think, Carisha or whatever. She was trying to shoot her shot. And she's in her 30s. So, I mean, we know that there's been different women who have put themselves out there. And listen, we don't know the full roster of Mr. Shannon Sharpe, but obviously he has a thing for the young girls, and obviously he has a thing for the young snow bunnies. But here's something else that I think is being missed in this whole scenario. Unfortunately, I believe Shannon Sharpe is a fall guy. He's a fall guy. Because of the industry that he is in, he is surrounded by men and people who engage in similar sexual practices as him. Now, they maybe aren't caught, right? They're doing it behind closed doors or doing it. But nevertheless, he's not an anomaly. There are men in that industry in that space, in that elite space, who do all kind of crazy, kinky stuff. He just happened to get caught. And no, it would not surprise me one bit if this was framed, if this was all planned, a coordinated attack. I would not be surprised at that at all. That is a strong possibility given the history. He happened to be the fall guy, but it's not like he's some anomaly or he's some crazy thing that nobody's ever seen before. It's like, no, the space he's around, guys do that stuff. And I think that's partially why when you had people outside of his circle who didn't see the full details coming and being like, hey, like, why don't you hang with this chick or that chick or that chick? It's like, nah, it's quite likely that he's running in a circle of men who are rotating those kinds of young, barely young women. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. That's just what they do in that circle. I can't say I fully understand it, but that's what they do. But I think the problem is too, I mean, we see this all the time with really wealthy Black men who get into elite spaces with elite non-Black people, and they start pretty much emulating their behavior and doing the same thing that they're doing. We see that all it takes is one wrong move for them to become the fall guy. All it takes is one wrong move for them to catch all of the... And listen, I am not saying that I agree with anything that he did. I obviously don't. I said from day one, don't mess with these girls. Don't mess with these OnlyFans models. If you are sleeping around with prostitutes, OnlyFans models, or if you're in that space, don't get surprised when you get caught up with demons. Like, God has been warning men against women like that since day one. He's like, there are certain women that are good for you, and there are certain women who can literally destroy you. That's pretty clear. So I don't agree with his behavior, but I am just saying that, unfortunately, when a person runs in that circle, or if they run in that circle, which is quite likely given the industry that he's in, then it can become more normalized. But unfortunately for elite Black men who run in those circles, they may have an illusion of inclusion and they may even get goodies. But you do one thing wrong, you say the wrong thing, you make somebody mad or piss them off, or you break code or whatever, then the whole ship falls and you are the fall guy. And you may be looking around like, you know, why me? But it's like, even if you're able to hobnob or get close in those elite circles, you're still Black. Those elite circles are not Black, primarily. Like, you kind of got it where you fit in, but you're not that family. You're not like them. People's got families going back multiple generations, are running stuff, you know, intermarried, over industries, whatever. You know what I mean? That's different than a Black man from Georgia, right, who came from that and then was able to work his way up through athletics and working hard. That's no shade. That's a lot to be proud of. But that's different than people who are coming from multiple generations of like running industries and building wealth and have like their own system. So that's what I'm saying. Like, in these kinds of situations, it's sad, but I think we see this over and over and over again, of Black men getting in these positions where they are really hobnobbing with super elite white folks. They start taking on some of they start doing what these elite white folks be doing, but then they forget they're still Black, and then they do the wrong thing, and then they become the fall guy. It's just like wash, rinse, repeat. So, I hope the truth goes out. I obviously wish the very best for him and the young woman, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think she should be an OnlyFans. She need to get her life. So I just, I hope it works out for him. And this is such a reminder again and again that don't mess with these girls. Don't mess with these OnlyFans, IG models, these hoes, these prostitutes. It's really not worth it. Find you a good woman. If you don't know where to find them, pray to God and ask God to take you to her, because a prudent wife, a good woman really is a gift from God. Like, you can't just fabricate that from nowhere. You have to be guided to that woman. But that's so much better than dealing with these ladies who can just completely destroy your life overnight. And I understand. I'm not saying, listen, a wrong wife can do the same thing too. But I'm like, listen, as long as you don't date a prostitute or marry a prostitute or a lady with a prostitute mindset, then you're gonna be all right. Anyways, y'all, that's my thoughts. What y'all got in this? You let me down in the comment section. We'll talk later. Okay, bye.